Lexi, you're not allowed to touch those.
Why?
Dad's not here right now. There's no adult supervision. You haven't safety checked those. There could be ammunition in there.
Dad!
What's going on here?
He won't let me touch these things.
What do you mean these things? What makes you think he's going to let you touch these?
I don't know.
Hey everyone, Quickshot88 here. This is Quickshot88 Jr. and Quickshot88 Jr. Ed. They're my two oldest out of my three children. And so first one here is Cameron. Cameron, go ahead and tell them how old you are.
9.
Alright, and second one here is Lexi. Go ahead and tell the people how old you are.
6.
Alright, so 9 and 6-year-old. So before we start, I just want to go over a couple things. First of all, both of these weapons, as you know, are at 100% safety check. No rounds in the weapons, 100% clear, okay? Second of all, like I always say, these are just my opinions. This is me, this is how I believe, this is what I think is going to keep my family safe, and it's been working. It's been working for a few years now, ever since Cameron was old enough to handle the firearm. So, if you don't like it, that's up to you. But for you that want to own weapons and want to make sure your children are safe, I really honestly think that this is the best way to do it, okay? So before we start gabbing, I just want to go over these two weapons that we're going to be handling so you guys know about them, because I know you all want to see them and know what we're talking about here. First one we have is a Marlin 795 22 caliber semi-automatic rifle, okay? Really great, really well built rifle, really. I mean, I only paid $150 for it, I think, for Cameron's Christmas present. It's, like I said, semi-automatic, comes with 110 round magazine, really great. Later on, I picked up this scope. I think I paid about $40 for it at Dick's Sporting Goods, one of my favorite shops as far as like the kids' weapons are concerned. $40, really easy to sight in. Didn't take that long at all, and it has really sturdy mounts. That's what I really liked about it. It has like a really shallow, I don't know the technical name for it, but this weapon has a really low rail on it. But this grips on really good, even after putting a couple hundred rounds through it. The screws never came loose or anything, okay? So that's the first weapon. Second one is the Savage Rascal in pink. Pretty standard, obviously really short. Like I said, we'll go into more reviews and details when I actually review this weapon one-on-one. But I really liked it. I paid like $150 for this one. Came with the AccuTrigger, drawing a blank, ghost ring sight, pre-drilled for mounts, even though I haven't seen the mounts come out for it yet, but they're supposed to be coming out soon, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hand these off to my kids. So first I'll hand Cameron his weapon. And I'll hand Lexi hers. Okay, I hope everybody noticed that, okay? So, these are kids, right? 9 and 6 years old. They both just automatically, I didn't even have to tell them, they both just automatically checked. Even though I just said, their dad just said that there's no rounds in the chamber, they still took it upon themselves to check the chamber and make sure their weapon was unsafe. Both these weapons are unsafe, and there's no rounds in either chamber because they made sure of that. That's the type of training that a kid needs, okay? Now, the reason we did this skit is for a couple reasons. One, because that happens in real life. People, kids will find guns, find their parents' guns, stuff like that. If they're not trained, and if it's just some new fancy thing, they're going to get intrigued by it, and they're going to want to investigate and see what's going on, what it is, and how it works, and pull the trigger because they see it on the video games or on the movies or whatever. These kids know better. I could have left these rifles here and walked outside and came back in, and I know they would have been in the exact same place because they know better. They would not have touched them. First of all, they've shot them plenty of times, so they know what they do. The mystery is gone. So, I mean, they know what they do. They enjoy shooting just as much as I do, probably more. But I know they wouldn't touch them without A, adult supervision, and B, without me even saying so, okay? So that's what I think, that's the reason I think it's so important for kids to be familiar with guns. Cameron, the 9-year-old, he shot, I think, pretty much all of our weapons we have in the house at this point. He can shoot them all, he can handle them all very well. Lexi, all she shot, I mean, I helped her shoot one of my pistols one time, but all she shot is this 22 caliber rifle. It's great. Okay, so I just wanted to take some time, interview the kids real quick, see what they would say to a couple different questions. And you know, I really, when I did this video, I wanted to interview another little kid or something, and someone that a kid that hasn't been trained with weapons, see what they would say. But you know, certain parents just don't like their kids around guns, so that didn't happen. Anyway, so Cameron, I just have a quick question for you. So, say you're at your friend's house, okay, and you know, your friend's 9 years old, same age as you, okay, and you're at your friend's house, and he says, hey, Cameron, come over here. My dad, he's in the shower or whatever, out in the backyard. I know where he keeps his gun. I saw him put it away the other day. Come check it out with me. What are you gonna say to him?
I would say, no, it's not safe. Especially even if your dad never probably told you where he hides it, or if you have never handled a gun before. It's completely safe if you do not touch it at all.
Okay. So, I mean, but what if he said, well, Cameron, but you know how to use guns. How come you don't just play with it and show me how it works? Then what would you say to him?
Because my dad has taught me a lot about safety of guns. So I know that it's not safe to touch guns without adult supervision.
Okay. So, Lexi, I got a question for you. How much have you trained on safety when it comes to your particular weapon?
A lot.
A lot? So what do we talk about when we talk about safety?
First, you have to check this.
What's that? The chamber, right?
The chamber. First, you have to check that. And second, you always have to keep your finger off the trigger.
Until you're ready to shoot, right?
Yes.
Perfect. And then what's another thing you check for when you handle a weapon?
Make sure
It's unsafe, right?
yeah.
Make sure it's unsafe. Sorry, I mean, these are kids, so they're going to get stage fright in front of the camera and they're going to get all nervous. But this is the point, okay? These kids know. I mean, both of them are holding their weapons in safe directions. They don't have it just you know, throwing it around, slinging it around, whatever, because they think it's just a toy. They're holding it in a safe direction. They know it's not going to hurt anybody, pointing at the ground. Even if a magical fairy came and dropped it around in the chamber, they still treat the weapon like it's loaded, right? That's why you hold it in that direction, because you always treat it like it's loaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this is my point, guys. I mean, if you train your kids, they're going to learn. Kids are like sponges. They'll soak up any information that you give them, and they will follow it as long as you enforce it. If you think it's a good idea to hide your guns from them, or you think just because you have them locked up you're okay, or whatever the issue may be, that's the wrong answer, because they might just try to figure it out. They might just try to find them. They might just try to get a hold of them. They might just try to play with them. Okay? Am I saying that I don't lock all these weapons up and put the keys, well, I have 2 sets of keys, and hide them in places that they would never be able to first reach, second of all find them? Sure, of course, because I'm going to take those extra measures. But I took the mystery out of the weapons for the kids. I took the mystery out. The other thing is, you teach them how to use them, because then they understand how much power can come out of them. Even the .22 rifle. You go take your kid and go shoot a .22 rifle at an apple or something like that, they're going to see what kind of damage it can cause. Even a .22 rifle. A .22 rifle is just as deadly as anything else. And they know that. And they treat it just as that way. Okay, so, like I said, teach your kids about guns. You don't teach your guns about kids, that would be weird. But teach your kids about guns. Teach them the safety. Take the time. Lexi, real quick, actually I'll ask Cameron, how much time have you, if you were to compare the amount of time that we've spent on safety and how to properly clean and disassemble and reassemble your weapon compared to actually how much time you've shot your weapon, what do you think the percentage would be? Like, how much more do you think we've spent doing safety training and disassembly and reassembly compared to actually shooting time? How much time do you think it'd be?
Probably about 70% out of 100%.
Okay, so So 70% we spent with safety?
Yes.
Okay, and then the rest of it shooting, right? Cameron is an awesome shot. I bet you he can shoot better than, you know, I don't have very many viewers, so probably, I don't know, 80% of the viewers that are watching this video right now, I bet you he can shoot better than them, because he shoots almost as good as I can, and he's 9 years old. Why? Because kids are going to learn, and they can have dexterity at a very early age. Now, I'm glad that just happened, because I want you to understand. If you talk softly to your kids when it comes to guns, and you treat them like it's, oh, honey, make sure that weapon's pointed down, they're not going to listen. I mean, they might listen, but it's not going to be as serious to them. But if you have to be aggressive when it comes to weapon safety. If you're aggressive, they're going to be scared of the punishment, okay? And, you know, if Lexi told me I don't want to deal with the punishment anymore if I did something wrong on accident, you know, just I don't ever want to shoot again, fine. I'll sell her rifle and she'll be done. But she'll never say that, right? Because you love shooting. Okay? She just knows that being corrected is being corrected. When we're at the range, I'm standing behind her just like this. She'll be on the firing table, and I have my hands around her so I can protect everybody else around them just in case they decide to do something crazy. You know, in case she decides to start flagging people or not, I'm still there to stop that from happening. You still have to be a responsible adult. You can't be like, oh, I train my kids, just let them go have fun. That's not how it works, okay? So now I just want to throw out another example. So I took a person shooting, a female, and it really doesn't matter that it's a female, because I've also taken male shooting that did the exact same thing. But just recently, you know who you are, because I know you'll watch this video, I took a female shooting, and every time she ran out of ammunition, she thought it was a good idea. This is a pistol. She thought it was a good idea to be like, is it out? Is it empty? Pointing it right at me. You know who you are. Don't ever do it again. The fact that my two children are safer with their weapons than an adult, that kind of blows everything out of proportion. Okay, I mean that's really the way it. I mean, I guess kind of the way it should be. Adults should be a little bit safer, but adults take a lot longer to learn. Okay, so. Other than that, we're going to have a couple of videos in the future with them shooting. I want you to kind of see a little bit more in detail what proper training with your children can end up showing at a range, okay? I mean, she's 6 years old, first rifle. Cameron started shooting when he was 6. And she can shoot, I mean, at 50 yards, she can shoot a shot group the size of a grapefruit. I mean, I think that's really good with the Savage Rascal 22 caliber rifle. So, you know, if anybody wants more information, we're going to do a couple more videos as far as kids are concerned. We're going to do some kids shooting videos, things like that, talk about more weapon safety with kids, how to train your kids correctly. I'll talk about that a little bit, about as far as when I was talking about being aggressive. Doesn't mean like punch them in the back of the head or anything, but just being aggressive, using a very stern, loud voice to kind of startle them a little bit and wake them up and be like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to do that again. Dads, this is on you for the most part. I know there's some moms out there that can probably get their kids in check better than dads can, but really it comes down to the dads. If you want your kids to be safe with weapons, it's your responsibility to make sure they stay safe. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below. I just want to make this video short. If I get more requests from viewers to go a little bit more in detail over certain topics, I'll be more than happy to. Like I said, future videos, we're going to do a couple. Actually, I think my next video we're going to do, should you carry your weapon with you in your home at all times, or should you leave it locked up somewhere? Why and why not? I'll show a couple different dramatizations as far as that's concerned. And we'll do a couple other things. I just want to kind of really get people understanding what a weapon's for. Is it really meant to sit in your safe, or is it meant to carry around with you at all times? So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Other than that, Quick Shot 88 out.